Hi, I'm Leslie Lugo and I'm making this video for Nursing 4502, Nursing Leadership and Management. My current position is the Nursing Director of Labor and Delivery in a unit here in El Paso. My experience with nursing leadership started back in 2010, when about 4 years after being an L&D nurse, I accepted the charge nurse position. As a charge nurse, I had to learn how to do different nursing tasks such as making assignments, doing patient rounds, assisting my peers during codes or emergency situations, also attending every delivery, and then just overall coaching staff and making sure that the unit was running smoothly. During this, I learned that not all nurses are created equally. I was able to learn my peers and what load they can take and what overwhelms some nurses. I also learned, though, that not all charge nurses or leaders had the same leadership style. Back then, when I was a charge nurse, I was always a curious charge nurse who would read evidence-based articles or wanted to improve some process on the unit. I felt that, I was that one nurse who would always go to the director and say, hey, there's this new process that we could probably be doing that would improve patient safety or patient outcomes, or if we did this way, it would help the nurses be more happy with coming to work. But there was always a downfall during those years when I was a charge nurse. It seemed like there was always a revolving door on my director's office. It seemed that every year we had a new leader, and every year that new leader had a different vision for the unit. And so, even though there were good leaders, stuff would never get done because there was never consistency. So, for that reason, my initial perception of leadership was not a very favorable one. Then, about 5 years ago, there was non-surprisingly, a new opening once again for a new leadership role on the unit, the Director of Labor and Delivery. All the charge nurses joked about, applying for that position, but we all knew that with the history of that position that no one would probably last in that role very long. Nevertheless, I ended up applying to the position just to challenge myself and to see if possibly maybe I was that one person who might stay and would listen to the staff's concern and maybe have some change on our unit. I had no previous experience other than being a charge nurse. And I'm not gonna lie, for the first 2 years, it was really rough. It really kind of just went like a blur. Our unit was severely understaffed. The morale was really low. All of our staff was leaving. There was a lot of work that needed to be done because our unit was in a very bad shape. I had to learn how to do, on top of all of that, tasks such as payroll, understand productivity, do employee rounding, put out fires with physicians. None of these things I really learned during nursing school, so they were all very new to me. But after about a good 2 years into the job, I realized that my nursing focus had changed. It had changed into a nursing leadership focus. I wasn't so much focusing on making sure that my patients were satisfied with the care that I was giving, like I was when I was on the floor as a nurse. I was more now getting gratification from seeing staff satisfaction, from seeing that the nurses were happy and the nurses were working close together and that everybody was kind of working cohesively as a team. I had to learn how to listen to employees, and I became a little bit more understanding of our new graduate nurses. One of my goals was to make sure that we showed them and we developed them to be just as good as their experienced peers. I also try to ensure that any nurse that works under my direction is given direction, that they know exactly what's expected, and when they go above and beyond, they're recognized. And I try to be understanding because I know everybody has families and sometimes the schedule needs to be fluid and flexible. So I do recognize that all nurses are still humans and we still need to understand their situation outside of work. I find that being a director is very challenging, very challenging. But I'm learning every day as I go, and every single day it's something different. There's some something different on the unit that we have an opportunity to learn from. And when our outcomes are not very good, we all debrief and we all kind of come together and we see what we could do in a non-punitive way to improve the process. Because we do believe that, nurses don't have ill intent when there's a med error or any kind of error. It's more of a process or a system failure. So we try to get to the root of these issues. And when you fix that, then the process works a little bit better for the nurses. What I'm hoping to learn from this course is to be able to develop some of the skills that I've learned perhaps during this course of being a director. I also kind of want to learn how to deal with some crucial conversations or difficult situations. I was actually very excited about this course, and I'm really looking forward to working with all of you guys and learning together. Okay, thank you.